Hi, I'm Rich Brown, Senior Editor for CNET.com. Today we're going to take a look at the Acer Revo 100. So this is a $499 home theater PC. It's got a really unique slim design and it actually has some pretty good features for its price. It's a low-powered AMD CPU inside, so it's not really meant for productivity. But it has a Blu-ray drive, a 750GB hard drive, and pretty much all the features we expect to find in a PC meant for the living room. You'll notice, of course, its size. It's a pretty slim system, and it's actually kind of reminiscent of the old PS2 slim game console. Like that console, you can actually set the system on its end, or you can lay it down flat. This stand here at the bottom slides out from the bottom of the unit, and it's simple enough just to lay it down. One of the most unique features about this PC is the included input device. You can pop out this little tab on the top of the system, and you get this little touchpad device. Now, the touchpad has two modes. It works like a standard touchpad like you might find on a laptop. And we found that it tracks your finger pretty well, but it actually is not as responsive as we'd like in terms of clicking. Sometimes it takes a couple presses, but it does have pretty good range. So it's useful for, say, one-click applications, but we wouldn't use it for multi-step processes. It can be a little bit annoying. Probably the more effective feature is its keypad that's built in. Push this button at the top and you get a full QWERTY keyboard. You get a couple extra function buttons up at the top here. And we found the keyboard actually performs a little bit better than the touchpad. You don't have to worry about double tapping the letters. The system recognizes your presses well enough. And it's useful for, say, searching for content or entering in a web page or a login. This dial on the side here also acts as a volume control. So this touchpad actually does a fairly good job of solving a problem that has plagued living room PCs, and that's how do you actually control that system from your couch. This is a pretty good solution, and it's certainly a lot neater than a dedicated mouse and keyboard. So for the rest of the system, it's actually fairly basic. You've got a Blu-ray drive up here, there's a USB port here, and an SD card reader down in the front. On the back of the case, you get a couple USB ports, analog audio outs, an optical audio output, HDMI, Ethernet, and down here you've got the power input. So there's no TV tuner on the system, which we don't think is that big a deal. It also has a budget graphics card, so this really isn't meant for gaming. That said, it can play pretty high bitrate Blu-ray discs. So in terms of the things it tries to do, playing stream content, playing Blu-rays, it actually works fairly well. Now, of course, there are other devices that can do a lot of what this system does for less. A PlayStation 3, for example, has a Blu-ray drive built in, supports all kinds of media streaming software, and only costs about $299. But the benefit of a Windows-based system, of course, is that it gives you access to the full internet, multiple formats, any content you can find, so it actually has a certain amount of versatility, even though it costs a little bit more. So if you are looking for a low-cost Windows system to provide that flexibility in the living room, we would definitely recommend checking out the Acer Revo 100. So I'm Rich Brown. This is the Acer Revo 100.